So Reddit's always been just an amazing site, an amazing resource for people to discover things, whether it's funny animals or memes or other expressions, but it's really been about discussion. And more importantly than anything else, Reddit is about community. And so for those who aren't familiar, over the last couple weeks, Reddit has been going dark. That means that many communities within Reddit have been turning themselves off in solidarity to a third-party application, and actually all third-party applications that were to use an API. And API stands for Application Programming Interface. It's a way for mobile applications to be able to interact with a website or social media. And over the last couple of weeks, Reddit has announced that they are changing their policy for how application developers would get charged. And they're charging so much that it actually makes these applications completely unviable. And so this is really a shame because, as I said, Reddit is really about community. It's really about community engagement and working with the community and having discourse and openness to figure out the best way forward. And Reddit's always had trouble with this. A lot of the CEOs don't really understand the Reddit community, and they end up putting policies or pushing in a particular direction that the community then rejects, and it ends up being like butting heads and really difficult for the community to move forward and really difficult for Reddit as a company to actually make money. And this is where the CEO just gets it wrong. Rather than doing an AMA, which is an Ask Me Anything, that really engages the community in dialogue, asks questions of the community, or in turn asks for help from the community and says, hey, you guys are amazing. You've built this site that has such amazing content and engagement, and we value you, the moderators, the creators, the people who come in every day and leave your thoughts and comments and likes and karma and buy coins and engage in the community. But we as a company are struggling to turn a profit, and we're open to ideas, and here are the things that we're thinking of, and here's the things that we think would work. And we want your community engagement and involvement to make sure that we're a viable company for the long term and we are long-term successful. Rather than doing that, they blanket put out a policy and really put the ban hammer on a number of things that are actually super beneficial for the community. And in solidarity, a lot of these community sites, a lot of these subreddits have gone dark. And that means they've really turned off their content. They've turned off the flow and stream of traffic. This is bad for the community. This is bad for Reddit as a business and a company. It's bad for the third-party applications. It's a clear sign that the leadership of Reddit doesn't understand the community, doesn't understand how to engage with the community. Reddit should be a multi-billion-dollar revenue company. It should be driving so much advertising and so much engagement, but it's not, because they really haven't engaged the community in how to turn it into a profit center. And this is actually something we see in other social media. Twitter and Elon is having a little bit of the same exact existential crisis of how do you monetize the social media while keeping advertisers happy? How do you incentivize creators and people who are actually creating content with things like subscriptions or memberships or premium services in a way that is authentic? If you don't engage the community, then community will push back. And we've seen that with social media sites in the past. In fact, predating to Reddit, there's a site called Dig that really didn't understand product, didn't understand their own community. And when new opportunities, when there were new platforms, in this case, Reddit became the new platform, Dig, in a blink of an eye, went sideways. And we don't talk about Dig anymore, right? It's no longer a site. If Reddit doesn't pay attention to its community, if Reddit doesn't engage from a leadership perspective to the community to have an active discussion in terms of what is actually going to move the needle for both the community members and for revenue for the company, Reddit's going to continue to be dark. It's going to continue to cause issues in the small communities, and the small communities do bubble up into larger communities and larger movements. And so I'm really hopeful, really hopeful that the leadership of Reddit pays attention to the community, engages them in a more active discussion, and rather than pushing policies that are going to be incremental revenue on the API side and incremental kind of infrastructure from the back end, they instead think about what are real tangible benefits for the community, for advertisers, and for the front page of the internet at large. I'm Greg Reyes. Talk about entrepreneurship, technology, and design. I'll catch you on the next one.